What's going on? It's Mando Crusader, and welcome to episode 18. Almost at 17. Welcome to episode 18 of Sunless Skies. Last time, we discovered the Home Bureau and the Avid Horizon, while barely making it back to the Most Serene Mausoleum before we ran out of fuel. This episode, we're gonna continue trucking around Albion. I want to find the rest of the ports. We found most of them. I know we need to find the Royal Society, which I think is here, and Perduance, which I think is around here, probably, maybe. And I think those are the last two ports. But yeah, we're gonna be heading in this general direction on our way to Woolbury Juxtamar to continue the story there, and to also, go through the story that we picked up, well, the mission, I should say, that we picked up at the home office, that being the Pardoner's Tale. And that gets continued right here in the Most Serene Mausoleum. Before we get to any of that, I just want to say that, hey, if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And also, comment any other games you'd like me to play in the comments. I do take requests. So before we get into any story beats, let's just stock up on fuel. We don't need that much. That should be good. We're right at our capacity for each of fuel and supplies. We're gonna quickly attend a Skyfarer's funeral in order to lower our terror a little bit. We do lose a Sky story, but I think that's worth it. Quickly write a port report and locate the Convent. This is the part of that story that we got at the home office. So, the nun detained in the Avid Horizon was on her way here. Perhaps her sisters might be able to shed some light on her predicament. The Convent. The Convent is located in a sepulchral annex of the mausoleum, just off the nave. Red candles light the way through the gloomy hallways to the entrance. It is ostensibly for the good of the souls of those sequestered in the mausoleum and patronized by the luminous cardinal. You can't help but note the decor is very martial. A furious prioress is on hand to answer your questions. Yes, we know her. No, we did not ask her to join us, she frowns. And even if we had, which I'm not saying we have, diplomatically, we could never be seen to have officially vouched for her. Do you understand? Alright then, that revealed, nothing. I guess it revealed that, whatever they want her for is on the down low, I suppose. Let's approach the Deathless. We do not have enough Tales of Terror to, or Favors Bestowed, I suppose, to do anything here. Right. So, that concludes anything at the Most Serene Mausoleum. We're going to head off to Woolbury Juxtamar and see if we can complete the story there. Also, try to lose a little terror, because it's at 76, and I'm slightly concerned. So yeah, I am going to charge into the unknown. I will see you when I find something interesting, or when we get to Woolbury, whichever comes first. If I don't run into a wall first. Oh! Well, looky here, we've found Skyhenge. You tether your engine to a circle of menhirs standing on a wide stone ledge. The tallest towers over you, the height of 3 men. You can brush the top of the smallest with your fingers. The rocks are rough, weathered. Far beneath the plain, other vast stone plates turn remorselessly. Here, the megalithic monument is still, but the place feels a kilter. You stumble as if dizzy. Whisper a sky story to the tallest stone. It is said the stones are lonely. Leave or step inside the ring of stones. So we can't do that because you need a barrel of unseasoned hours. This is our last sky story, but we can always get some more in the reach. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? We die of terror? No, we succeed. Bewildered, grateful. You lean your head against the cold rock and murmur a tale of adventure to a hollow in the stone. It doesn't take long. You pull back from the men here. The air hangs still. Someone swears. A stranger staggers towards you from between two stones. Their clothes are outdated, the fashion several years old. They head towards you, but you are not the captain they expected. The new arrival is eager to board your locomotive. They'll take any role just to get away. Alright, well, we seem to have gained a crew. I'd say that's worth a sky story. I swear, that looks so... I remember way back when, the old Skyhenge, what it used to look like. And let me assure you, that looks so much better. The art team at Feel Better did a great job with the new look. Oh! It's that thing again. Lovely. Well, thankfully we're within the no terror range of the port. So, that didn't make our terror too bad. We are at terror 90 though, so this is a great time to be at Woolbury Juxtamar. Rumors of a mutiny. I suppose you'll conduct an investigation. I really don't want to increase my nightmares. Oh, great. Failure. Justice! From what little testimony you can coax from the crew and the meager scraps of circumstantial evidence you're able to uncover, the most likely suspects are a gunner and a stoker. They protest their innocence during the trial. They are still protesting it as they are cast through the exterior doors and lost to the skies. We lose 2 crew. I wonder if one of those is the one we just gained from Skyhenge. Oh well, the terror situation is going to become much better very soon. The Mists of Woolbury. I'm going to wait for that just a second in case any of them gain me terror. We're going to queue for a Pauper's Pass to Woolbury. This will allow us to get in for free. You can get in for free every now and then. Let's see, the portly man standing just ahead of you is sweating prodigiously. In vain, he mops at his pink skin, while around the waddle of fat that collars his chin. After a while, his facial structure sharpens. Is he actually melting? It is time! A drum roll is performed by a smugly beaming child in a bright blue uniform. A maternal figure, similarly attired in cobalt, counts off those at the front of the queue. She reaches you, then 3 behind you, then stops. That's it. The rest of you will have to come back for the next lottery. Workers from the Bureau of Entertainment swoop in, gathering the lucky winners. A man and a woman appear beside you, both exquisitely dressed, their smiles well-whetted knives. Come, come already. The courtier doesn't like waiting. You need an outfit. Come, come, come. Well, we gained terror. That certainly was not the plan. We'll just go with a finely tailored coat. Right. We're at a port report. Right, this is another reason that I wanted to come here. Stand for Parliament in the Woolbury Juxtamar. This isn't a town that stands on ceremony. They like their representatives to be charismatic. It costs 50 sovereigns to stand. It is refunded if you win. You have a 24% chance of winning. And we fail. Minor setbacks. The polls are not in your favor. Your opponents appear to have the will of the people behind them. Fortunately, it's a long way from here to Parliament. You suspect that it will not be long before the winner tires of their new position and steps down. A new winner will be called here after a while. New election will be called here after a while if you wish to try again. So, that's a thing. Let's see. Let's stop at a charming tea room. Our terror has fallen. Very, very good. We'll take a donkey ride. And the reason why I'm not reading all of this is because we've already done all of this. We've already done all of this before in a previous episode. So, if you're interested in what all of this text says, I'll just watch, I guess, the previous the previous episodes of the series. We'll walk down the beach. Terror has fallen. And we don't get, unfortunately, we don't get to sort of start noticing what's wrong with Woolbury Juxtamar in this trip unless we want to pay to go again. Which, given my terror, I think we may. But that is 250 sovereigns. That's really expensive. Go over the Mists of Woolbury. We'll join the Song of the Mists. Why not? Grab another worldly artifact. Our terror is 80%. This is a bit yikes. This is a little bit yikes. We're still good on money. We're also running out just a little bit, which is mildly concerning. Right. I'm going to head to over here, this way. I'm pretty sure right here is the Royal Society. So we're gonna look there. And, see if that is... however, we have an unfortunate occurrence. The locomotive lurches to one side. It may have been a gust of wind, a stray rock, perhaps a little incautious driving. That would hold up, since the incautious driver is our driver. The curator's egg is fragile and pinned between heavy crates. Check the hold. Nobody will pay you for a fractured egg. You arrive to find the egg shattered into a half-dozen pieces. Sat up against a crate beside it, a crew member is staring off into the distance. You rouse them gently and ask them what they saw was in the egg. They nod as their eyes start to moisten. Comrade, the voice is hushed. I want to go home. When you probe where their home is, tears start to roll down their cheeks. They can't work in this state. You release them from their duties. They can leave the locomotive when you next make port. Curator's eggs do not always contain the same thing. If there's cracks, something else might occur. Lose another crew, and the money that egg would have brought. And we didn't even get the special companion that the Curator's eggs can contain. So that's a bit bad. That's a bit disappointing, I should say. So, yeah, we're gonna see if the Royal Society is where I think it is. And then we're gonna head back to London. So, I will see you when I find something. Alright. Yep, I thought it was right in this little cubby hole here. And it turns out I was correct. The Royal Society. Oh my goodness, we're so close to leveling up. Wait, hold on, we need to fly around. There we go. There we are. Right, we get to choose a new facet to take. We have the choice of a scandal, below stairs, haunted, a lost love, or a seance. Let's do a lost love, I think. Mainly because this gives us a moment of inspiration, which are very valuable. So, love. the gradual erosion of what separates you from someone else. The fitting together of two lives, and as intrinsically and intimately as the threads in a tapestry or the cells in your skin. And when one of those lives ends, what remains of the other? You loved. You lost. How badly does it hurt now? Like a gnawing ache, a hole in the heart, or like a fresh wound as red now as it was then. This, I think I'm gonna go like this. I don't think our character will be one to sort of still have those fresh feelings with the whole, like, revolution, the stars need to die angle. But, also this makes sense statistically as well, because two of our weakest stats are hearts and mirrors. So I think I'm going to choose this. Like a gnawing ache, a hole in the heart. You feel, always, that something is missing. In the middle of other things, you will look up and around, and then remember that they will never be there. Alright, and that is that. So, now we can devote ourselves to figure out what the Royal Society is about. Oh, I could have just moved forward and gained that experience. The Airy. Pretty mansions of stone and glass rise above the verdant gardens, while below machines whir and groan. A persistent sound of hammering pounds through the air. The Celestial Exhibition. To the delight of mostly himself, the Malfurious President is planning an expedition. An exhibition, not an expedition, in the Royal Society. Its theme will be the science of the skies. He's happy to pay visiting captains for items of interest they might come across. Well, I don't want to sell anything right now. So, the Royal Society. The words nullus in verba are written across the stonework above the great bronzewood doors. Her renewed majesty has granted these grounds to the finest minds in Albion to work here. Their purview is to invent, to hypothesize, to discover, and, most crucially, to watch the stars. Introduce yourself at the Airy House. The Royal Society welcomes careful captains. An offer of work. The Malfurious President greets you. He directs your attention to the new marble on the floors, to the cheerful portraits of distinguished Royal Society members lining the hallway, and finally to the very large portrait of himself in his plush library. We do like captains here at the Royal S. We need our space, and frankly, our comforts to think. But it is you brave souls who do the real legwork. Extremely educational. If not, our gardens are extremely fine, as is our conversation and the port. Let's see, we can wander the gardens, visit the president, write a port report. Well, obviously gotta write a port report. Someone will be interested in what they're getting up to here. Latest developments. The Royal Society hums with activity. The preparations for a new wing of Airy House are in motion. The Malfurious President is convening another committee to continue the renovations of the gardens. The astronomers are excited about a star of burnished amber seen far to the east. The Rochester Club, regrettably, continues at high speeds. Visit the Malfurious President. I don't know what that means. I think that might be a typo. There might be work for industrious skyfarers. Intimated? I have no idea. That word is bugging me so much. Hello, Captain. Do come in, do come in. The Malfurious President steeples his fingers. On his desk, metal suns suspend from silver frames clack in the breeze. Now, where are you about work? Or do you consider the term vulgar as well? I send reports back to London, periodically, but we can't be everywhere. So much to do, so little time. Places of particular solar activity will do nicely. Alright, so we want port reports from Polymer and Plenty's Inconceivable Circus. the Clockwork Sun, and the House of Rods and Chains. And we can acquire an invitation to Perturance with Sky Stories. That will probably be relevant later. But for now, we can't really do anything. So... Oh, I forgot about all the stuff here. I guess let's go to Nell's Tower next. The Royal Society's observatory is named for King Charles' canniest mistress. Nell's Tower is the jewel in the Society's crown. Arriving at Nell's Tower. A sign on the door in neat copper plate reads, Nell's Tower closed with a 13th annual Airy dinner. Leave urgent business at doorstep. There is a polite cough at your shoulder. Turning, you see a tall man with a beard like a nest of vipers. The supercilious bursar introduces himself. I came to round up stragglers, but as a captain, you are of rank sufficient to attend the dinner, if you wish to attend. Well, you never say no to dinner. Attend the 13th annual Airy dinner. There will be port, Captain. The dinner is held in the mahogany and marble imperial dining room of Airy House. Every piece of the dinner service is mismatched, and both the furniture and the personages in the room are pleasantly rumpled. The supercilious bursar brings you to the high table, where the 3 senior astronomers of Nell's Tower are holding court. You are introduced to the senatorial professor, the chair of the effulgent sciences, and the lecturer for imperial affairs as the first course is served. We can dine on the game pie or guzzle the port, and I think everyone knows which decision I'm going to be taking. Supplies are fine, terror is not, so we are guzzling the port. The Royal Society is renowned for the variety and the depth of its cellars. This will reduce terror by 10. Excellent. Good gosh. It's smoked like fine cheese and fired like a master potter's kiln. The color is pale ruby, like a star-kissed stone. Its bouquet is Homeric, as are the epithets you lavish upon it. The senatorial professor smiles and adjusts his blindfold. From the ruins at Port Avon, a marvelous find. The first course ends with a great smacking of the lips and a general feeling of goodwill towards the chef. The second course arrives. The supercilious bursar passes the dish of buttered potatoes and an oily smile. The conversation continues, lubricated by Herculean quantities of port. Buttered potatoes, roast squirmings, and sautéed Hybrian mushrooms are devoured in between rhetorical thrusts. So we can talk to one of the 3 people here. We can talk to the lecturer in Imperial Affairs. She is rationing her port with water and visibly holding her tongue. Talk to the chair of Effulgent Sciences. Her eyes are wild. She has savaged the potatoes. Her conversation rambles, but her language is poetry. Or talk to the senatorial professor. He affords sly smiles from under his blindfold between slurpings of mushroom. He appears to enjoy playing the devil's advocate. Let's talk to the professor. He seemed like a decent person from the one line that we've heard from him so far. The devil's rhetoric. He grins broadly as you find yourself arguing for the abolition of astronomy as a charlatan's art. You must have done adequately, however, for he toasts you once you finish, before he resumes feeding his large pet spider beneath the table. Alright, that's normal. The second course ends with the lecturer in Imperial Affairs telling a rather ribald joke, and a hearty toast to the continued health of all present. The third course arrives. Sherberts produced in London's sweet shops, sponge cake from the Admiral Nelson on Port Prosper, clotted cream and actual strawberries grown in the gardens, more port. The conversation grows looser, the stories more risque. The supercilious bursar leans in conspiratorially. I arrange these dinners to promote unity, you understand, and of course for the good memory of our previous president, who notably argued for the introduction of the society to the wilderness and convinced Her Majesty of our utility. He toasts the large portrait of Airy that dominates the room. We can talk to one of them again. I guess we'll just talk to the same person. We definitely don't want to talk to the lecturer of Imperial Affairs, because obviously we hate the Empire. But, he seems like a decent bloke. these choices are important, by the way. You'll see in just a second. He has procured brandy from somewhere. His port is shamefully neglected. Grumbling in the ranks. He pours you a measure of amber liquid. I'm sorry, it's a sherry glass. We're not allowed to use the brandy glasses anymore after what happened last time. He waggles his eyebrows meaningfully and swirls his glass. I apologize for our factitiousness. London isn't allowing us to move the telescope. They've got it pointing at barren sky. Our research is on hold until we get official word. Maddening. The third course comes to a close with a great groaning and a heartfelt but false protestations that one couldn't possibly manage cheese and biscuits after all this. Being patronized. The supercilious bursar leans in as the plates are cleared away. Before we adjourn, there's the question of patronage to consider. All eyes are on you. A hush falls over the table. The three faces of the astronomers are turned to you. The supercilious bursar continues as though nothing has changed. Our telescope is operated only by the will of the government. We are not allowed to move the telescope without permission. A bold skyfarer such as yourself might obtain such permission, or at least an official-looking document that could be conceivably construed as permission. Our astronomers will be very interested in patronizing you. You bring them a permit, they can advance their researches. In exchange, they'll teach you what they know. Oh! That must have changed. I thought that whoever you talked to the most was your patron. Well, I guess we're still choosing the senatorial professor, but, that was a mistake on my part. The blindfolded, cantankerous astronomer of old London will be your patron. New lease of life. He reaches out to shake your hand. I shall endeavor to instruct you more kindly than I was. I hope I shan't give you cause to regret your choice. He smiles thinly. Now, come to the tower whenever you wish to begin. Bring a permit if you wish to actually make use of the telescope. Onwards! Unfortunately, I think that may have to do it for today. We're running a little over time. We're going to find out what's going on at the rest of the Royal Society in the next episode, as well as heading back to London and probably making our way back to the Reach in order to make our way to Eleutheria, the third region. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, remember, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Additionally, comment on any other games you let me play. I do take requests for that. And, yeah, I will see you in the next video.